I did want to talk about a little bit about Marcus as well, from especially on the defensive side of things. Another really good defensive game from him. And we all know how this Marcus story has gone. And we're not trying to draw any added attention to the Garden Report, but it's well publicized and well known at this point. Marcus took exception to something said on this program. It's made the airwaves. It was talked about on the radio, a lot earlier this week about Marcus just, listening to the criticism, and not just Marcus, other Celtics as well. And this media, how the media criticism has gotten to him. Marcus again addressing this in his post-game press conference. I don't have the sound yet. I'm just going to read you the quote. Marcus was asked again on returning to his all-defensive team form, and he said he's just getting started, and again acknowledged that he heard the criticism and it fueled him. So again, you're welcome. But also,
welcome, Celtics fans.
You're welcome.
But John, it's really, really, really dangerous when a player attributes elevating their game to outside noise, because it sets you up in a way that you shouldn't be motivated or get added motivation because someone said something about you. I mean, you've got to get your ass out there for 30 some odd minutes and go all out. And that's what Marcus is doing now. And to me, it's a domino effect. His effort defensively is trickling down to the rest of that team, and they're all playing so much harder. And that's a great thing to do. They're playing like the team that we fully expected to see at the beginning of the season. And if you want to attribute that to media talk, that's fine. But I think in all reality, you had to do that. That's on you. So own that shit. I mean, own what you've done to step your game up. Don't stop giving credit where you have to be the one to save. You have to be the savior of your team, not the media chastise you, not the media calling you out. You have to be the one and own that.
Yeah, but that's the way I look at this, Rod. Like that's the thing. Like when people are like, "Oh man, like I can't believe Marcus said that," I'm like, "Good. What you think I got? That's nothing. Like you know what I mean? Like that's part of the whole thing here, right?" We talk about the team. If they're not doing well, we say they're not doing well. The players respond.
And now they're doing better. And what are we talking about? We're talking about how much better they're playing.
That's the story I don't mind writing, Sherrod. I'm sure you don't mind writing that, the morning after. I mean, listen, that's the whole thing here. And if people want to say, well, Marcus shouldn't even mention something like that, I don't have a problem with that because, listen, if that motivates you, then so be it. Whatever it takes, right? I mean, some people people believe that it shouldn't take that, but regardless, if it does anyways, then good, run with it. Go ahead.
You figure, as a player, you figure out what.
If you make another all defensive team or whatever the case may be, whatever the narrative is, I'll write the story in the morning and say, hey, you got that. You know what I mean? You told us so.
Well, even before he started playing better, I mean, his all defensive status wasn't going to change. He's going to be in first or second team. I think that's pretty much a given, even before this latest run. But my thing is this: if you are a very good team and you've got very good players, you should win a lot of games. And if you're not doing that, you need to play better. And if you have to feel as though it's you against the world and that's going to make you play better, then you do that. But you're not fooling me. If you're playing better, it's because of just what I just said. You are playing better, not because, Sherrod or the Garden Report or Shaq or anyone said this, that, or the other. You're playing better because you're playing closer to your potential. That. You're being, as John would put it, the best version of yourself.
Right.
Best version of yourself. Everybody say it. No, but I mean,
when we got... You know what I mean? Like to Marcus, you did that. You know what I mean? But if you want to throw us credit, all right, we'll take it.
They don't. That's the thing. And when we got animated talking about this the other day, that was the point. If they're playing better now, that meant they were playing worse before. Therefore, criticism was warranted. You make the case for and against yourself in that regard. If you're the Celtics now and you have upped your level of play, that's actually lending credence to all of the people who had said you were playing well below your ability and your potential, which they were, which is, I think, why everybody's freaking out, not just in the media. I mean, we've done this every single game all season long, including preseason, the bubble and the playoffs last year in this game. And we see what people are in here in the chat saying. We got thousands of people coming in here and just letting it fly. And they're friggin' frustrated, because again, you wouldn't get frustrated if you thought the team had no talent and no shot. You get frustrated because you think that the level that they can play across the board is better. And when you see them play it, you're happy that they did it, but you're like, we were right. They were playing like ass before, and they kind of were. So whatever they used for the motivation to get to this level, it's great. Bobby, I want to engage you, my friend, because I can't tell if you're frozen or doing something else. But
I'm just listening to the dialogue here.
I want to hear a little bit from you. Yeah,
right. Bobby knows exactly.
How do we do this for 5 people?
This is a great show. Sometimes you got, like.
If I'm going to throw it back to the conversations we had about Smart, even at the deadline there, I think it's worth noting that, he had a point himself. Millions.
Millions. Thank you, John.
He had a point himself. I mean, he was out. He was coming back from a major injury we thought at the time might have ended his season in a dramatic way. So when he was coming back trying to get his feet beneath him, there was definitely a 4 or 5 game stretch there, I think of Memphis in particular, where he was not himself. You remember that switch with Rob down the stretch, losing John Morant in key situations. There was another game around that time too where I wasn't all that impressed with him defensively, and that's when we had those conversations. Is he slipping? Is this as good as we've seen him play in the past? When really, if you look at his season right now, first 11 or so games, they were solid defensively, probably like a 107 defensive rating or so. That went way up when he exited the lineup. And then since he's come back, it's gone way down, and they've been a much better team to the point where they are a top 5 team on the defensive end of the floor in April. So you look at this and we say, is he overrated? Are these, things about his defense overblown? Well, you look at when he's in versus when he's out, the tone he's setting when he's in there versus the other guys trying to piece it all together when he's out of this lineup. I know there's a replacement level issue there because it's Grant and Pritchard and others coming in for him, but he's so important. And I went as far as to say during those conversations, he's the cornerstone of this defense. And I still think you see it.
Well, he
not
is.
Because yeah, and it's not like what people think he's going out there and shutting down the best guy every single night, but he's the one, the point man, getting back in transition, as you saw tonight. He's rotating on the big man. He did it again on Nurkic tonight when that becomes an issue. He's just doing like 7 different things a night to piece this together.
Talk about that sequence too, man.
Yeah, like the NBA defense has changed so much over the last 10 years, and he does the thing. Even if, John, he can't stay in front of Steph Curry for a whole game, he's doing other things.
Let me know who can.
He does. Nobody can. It's the same thing about. It's the same thing about stopping Embiid. Nobody can. Yeah. Okay, that's all. You're right. Yeah. It's an unfair criticism to say.
It really doesn't matter what we say about him.
The shiftiest, quickest guys in the league
shuts down Steph Curry when he's in his bag.
No one. Because we asked at the time, who can do that? Yeah, no one.